Hey patrons, how's it going? It is January 1st, 2020. Yay, the first day of 2020, and we are here together. Isn't that awesome? What's today? Is it Wednesday? Thursday? Heck, I don't even remember what day it is. So I got up this morning, slept in a little bit, but I took a short video of this New Year's food that we eat. As I was doing it, I realized I know the names of all of these foods in Japanese, but I have no idea what the heck they're called in English because we don't have these things in America or Europe or wherever. And they use a lot of different kinds of fish and fish eggs. And for the life of me, I could not remember the names of some of these fish that the eggs came from. Anyway, I think visually you'll just enjoy it. So without further ado, before our daily crypto update here, I'm going to show you the New Year's food. And while you're watching that, I'm going to be drinking I'm back to mangoes here. I've got my mango protein drink for the morning. So while I'm drinking that, you guys will be watching the video. Okay, see you in a few minutes. Okay, everybody, this is what we're eating for New Year's. I'm guessing there's a lot of stuff here most people watching this would never eat. This yellow stuff here in the corner, this is some kind of fish egg. Oh, flying fish eggs, I think. No, that's not right. There's a different fish. Anyway, some fish eggs here. What do we got here? Some kind of scallops. I don't know what the heck that is. Probably healthy though. Good for you. This here, I think it's octopus testicles. No, I'm totally kidding. I don't know what that is. Of course, that's shrimp. What is that? That's some kind of fish there. That looks good. I don't know what it is. It tastes good. Let's see. This here, what is that? Something wrapped in seaweed, huh? Okay. This is, let's see in the back there, that's some kind of duck. Some kind of duck meat. Okay, what is this here? Potatoes and some kind of dried fruit. This here, I'm guessing, is pork, some kind of pork wrapped around something. Okay, what do we have here? This, we actually call this one a shrimp, but it looks like a lobster, doesn't it? You can see all the meat was taken out and made into some kind of dish and crammed back into the tail there. Okay, what do we have here? Again, it looks like pork, doesn't it? Oh, it's chicken. So my wife's telling me off to the side what this is here. I should flash the video on her and let her tell me what this is. Okay, this one here, I don't know what that is. Some kind of fish maybe with sesame seeds. I'm waiting for instructions. Oh, it's potato. Oh, okay. This here, I'm not sure what that is. Some kind of vegetable. Oh, gobo. It's gobo. I forget what that is in English, but I do think my grandmother used to eat that years ago. I don't think anyone eats it now. Okay, here, what do we have? Some kind of, oh, these are fun. What are these roundish, oval-looking things? Are those like taco or ika? Those are tiny little squid bodies there, those round, oval-shaped brown things. Here we have some kind of black beans with gold leaf. What? People are eating gold leaf? Well, whatever. We have some walnuts with eggs. Here we have, what is this, like octopus legs? Some kind of vegetable there. Let's see, some kind of, what are these, chestnuts or something? Those are tiny fish. They look like minnows. You would use these for bait for fishing. Nope, we're going to eat them. Let's see, what's that there? Looks like radish or something and some vegetables. This is maybe something else from chestnuts. And here, What is that? Some kind of egg and dessert. And this one here in this package, this is abalone. You can see an abalone shell there, maybe through the package. And then we actually eat that grotesque looking thing. I don't eat it, but some people like it. And I'm told it's quite expensive. So anyway, that is what we're eating for New Year's. All right. How was that? How was that food? It looked pretty good. It's actually pretty good. And I think I told you before in a different video, this food, that New Year's food is, you know, it's been developed for probably a couple hundred years, the recipes and some of those things, because for New Year's, everybody would like travel to your relatives' houses, or someone might come to your house, depending on if you're the parents or the grandparents or whatnot. So you would need to prepare all of this food beforehand, because you don't want to spend all, you have your relatives come and visit you, once a year, and then you're in the kitchen the whole day making stuff and you have no chance to talk to anybody. That wouldn't be very sociable, and it wouldn't be very fun for you either. So they developed all of these different little dishes that can be made, and you can just leave them out for about a week. Of course, it helps that it's cold, it's the winter time. And that's what the food is. It's food that can be left out for about a week. Usually people eat it within 3 to 4 days, but it could go a week and you have no worries of getting food poisoning or sick or anything like that. They've just figured out ways to prepare their food to where it's just like naturally preserved for that long. And speaking of, the cold weather, holy mackerel. Yesterday, the 31st, we had this really cold front, big cold front move in over Japan. I think it's called the Siberian Clipper. The Siberian Clipper, that has finally came down upon us here. It's really cold. I think this morning when I woke up, it had to be below 32. We've got this little tiny fish pond outside in the garden that was frozen over, and I could almost see my breath in the room. You know how you can, well, if you've lived in any cold place, you've seen your breath before, and you've probably goofed around like, blowing and stuff like that to see your breath as a kid. So anyway, I could almost see my breath. Extremely cold. Ooh, Jesus. I'm wearing like a sweatshirt. I don't think you'll ever see me wear a sweatshirt unless I'm cold. Of course, I have a t-shirt on, but I'm not one of these guys to dress in layers. Some people do that. Well, if I had to, I would. But, in your house, Jesus, come on. But it's cold enough for me to wear a sweatshirt. And my hands are actually kind of cold, which is rare for me. So... yeah, it's cold here. We got the New Year's food. So after this video, I'll be going back downstairs to the dining room, and we'll be sitting around the table with everyone and eating that food you just saw. So that's our New Year's. And I don't know if while I'm doing this video, if you can hear like a drum pounding, kind of a deep drum pounding. That would be the local, there's like a Buddhist temple right that way out the window, pretty close, and so they'll be banging on their drums all day long in celebration of the New Year, some kind of ritual. I'm not Buddhist, so I don't know what it is. And there's actually lots of different Buddhist sects, different Buddhist groups, sect as an S-E-C-T, sects, right? Lots of different groups. They all do things a different way. And it's kind of fun for me because I always tell people, I don't think Buddha told everyone to build temples and charge all this money for these ceremonies, but okay, go for it if you can do it and it works for you and everyone else is happy, why not? So there will be people going to the temple, but they also go to a Shinto shrine. Actually, the Shinto shrines are the busiest for New Year's. Everyone wants to go to the Shinto shrine right around, it would be the December 31st, right around midnight, or after it becomes the 1st of January. People just like in mass droves go to the shrines where they live and get the first prayer of the year in. They kind of wish for a good new year. And it's funny because Japanese people are not religious. As a whole, they are not religious at all. There's a funny saying that I heard years ago. It's very true, where Japanese are, let me think, they're born Shinto, they get married in a Christian ceremony, and when they die they become Buddhist. Only because those religions have the best ceremonies for those times. So when you're born, well, Shintoism has something similar to what we have in Christianity. What's it called when you're a little kid, little baby? They'll have some kind of event where you go to the church and you'll have you'll decide on who your kids, godfather and godmother are. I forget the name of that, whatever that ceremony is called. There's something very, very similar in the Shinto religion, so people do that here. And then, of course, when they get married, you can get married in a Shinto ceremony. You can't get married in a Buddhist ceremony. I'm not aware of any Buddhist marriage ceremonies. They might be out there, but in Japan, I've never seen one. So people either get married in a Shinto wedding, or they do a Christian wedding, and then the bride wears a dress and the groom wears a tux. Got mixed up there. And then when they die, they have a Buddhist ceremony for their funeral, and the body gets burned up. That's a pretty wild thing. My father-in-law, when he passed away, one thing that shocked me was okay, we had the funeral, and they told everybody, if you have letters or photos or something you want to put in with the body, do it now. And the casket was open and people came up and put all kinds of stuff in. And I didn't really catch what was going on because I've never been to a Buddhist funeral. I've never, been through the whole process. So then the close family, which was us, we take the body in like a hearse, like a black hearse. We go to this place, and I forget what it's called, but it would be a crematorium in English. We go there, and they wheel the body in, and they open up this huge oven door, and they say, "Is there anything else you want to put in the casket with them?" And I didn't understand all this. I wish I had, because I would have put a few things in there with them. Like a Playboy magazine or something, right? That would have been kind of cool. Anyway, so the body gets put into this huge oven, and then the guy, he looks at his watch and he goes, "Well, come back in 90 minutes, it'll be done." And everyone's just very nonchalant about it. Matter of factly, okay, let's go over to this room over here. We've got some food prepared for you and some drinks. So we go, talking with the relatives. Oh boy, 90 minutes has passed. Let's get back to that that first room with that huge oven. So we walk back there, and they have us stand in a room. We're standing around the edges of this room, and I look up and I see this huge exhaust vent in the middle of the room, and I'm thinking, that's the biggest exhaust vent I've ever seen. And then it hit me. Oh, holy crap! They just burned his body up, and they're going to bring in the remains, and the remains are going to be in the middle of this room, and they're going to use that exhaust fan to suck all the heat off. That's exactly what they did. They brought the body in. He's all burned up. Body's all burned up. All the photos and letters and everything people put in there, it's all burned up. The only thing left is parts of the skull. You can see the vertebrae, the spine, and you can see some of the leg bones, a little bit of the arm bones. Everything else is ashes. And then they hand us these huge chopsticks about this long, about 12 inches long. And they have a box, a very decorative box, and they say, "Okay, now please take turns placing the bones in the box." Now, as I figured out what was going to happen before they wheeled in his burned up body, I said to my youngest son, "Oh, dude, I just realized what's going on here. Are you going to be okay with seeing your grandpa turned into a skeleton? Might not even be a full skeleton." And he was a little surprised. He's like, "Yeah, I think I'll be okay." And I thought, it's really weird. No one gave us any heads up on, hey, guess what? They're going to burn his body, and then they're going to ask us to pick at his bones with chopsticks and put the bones in a box. Are you okay with that? There was nothing like that. And everyone acted like I don't know, like we were standing in line to buy lottery tickets or something. It was really, really strange, I thought, just the attitude, how nonchalant everyone was about it. And of course, some of the relatives had been through this before, but other people hadn't been through it. So I just thought, man, it would have been nice to know a little bit about what's going on. And maybe everyone assumed because I've lived in Japan, for so many years, I would have known this. So yeah, so then we picking up, bones with, everyone, you get your turn, right? You get in line and you all pick up one bone and put it in the box. And now I have to say, it may seem like I'm a pretty serious guy, but I like to joke around a lot because life is way, way too serious, I think, in a lot of things. So any chance I get to joke around, I'll joke around. And when it comes to funerals, I joke around a lot. Anyway, so what can I say? The most, I don't know, how even to say this. The part of the body, so the body's burned, you got the bones there, right? So the one part of the body that's considered sort of the most prized part, if you talk to people or talk to the guys at this crematorium and said, ooh, what would be the best part for me to put in that box, they'd say the skull. Try and put the skull in the box in one piece. That's what you're shooting for. That's like the most important person gets to put the skull in the box. So my father-in-law, he had a nephew. So it would be his older brother's son. And his older brother died when he was really a young guy. So my father-in-law was kind of like a father to this nephew of his. And the nephew now is like, 60 years old or something like that, 60-something. And real, he's like a guy from the, we live in a very rural area, so he'd be like a country bumpkin. And I'm not saying that in a bad way at all. This is a very nice guy. For someone, just imagine some redneck guy somewhere who's never really left his town, spends all of his free time drinking, and geez, how can I put it nicely? If he has free time, he's either drinking or he pays women to spend time with him, if you know what I mean by that, paying a woman to spend time with you. And I know this because the guy told me. He was asking me what my hobbies are one time. I was telling him, and I said, what about you? What do you do? And he goes, well, I got two things. I drink and I pay for women. Prostitutes, right? And he even had photos of them on his phone to show me, like, hey, I was with her, last week. So that kind of guy, right? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with him, but he's just a guy living a simple life in a rural area, and that's what his life consists of. He works probably 10, 12 hours a day at his job, and then to blow off steam, he either drinks or pays for women. So he gets he gets the job of putting the skull in, and the funeral director, this guy at the crematorium is real serious and saying, okay, now, you've been designated as the one to put the skull in the box, and be careful. It's really good if it can go in one piece and all this stuff. And I'm standing next to this guy because we had just been talking, and he's real nervous. He picks up these two big chopsticks, the nephew, right? And he's holding the head, and and he kind of looks at me as he's doing it, and he's shaking, and of course, all this is taking place in Japanese. So I say to him in Japanese, I said, I'm not Buddhist, but I've heard that if you pick this skull up and it breaks, you're going to have bad luck for years. It's just like my joke, right? This guy's got a totally serious face. He picks the skull up and he's shaking, and it just suddenly crumbles into about 10 pieces. Falls out of the chop. He can't hold it with the chopsticks anymore. It just falls on the table. And like his face is like, ah. And then I said to him, don't worry, I don't think Buddha would mind. I think you'll get a pass on all that bad luck. Yeah, probably you will. Don't worry about it. And I pat him on the back. And I never did say, hey, I was kidding about that. So And the next time I see him, I gotta say that. So anyway, anyway, yeah, that's the kind of stuff I do. So I've got a pretty good sense of humor. Maybe somebody wouldn't think that was a good sense of humor, but now, joking about that kind of stuff when you're dealing with, my God, imagine that my father-in-law's bones were like putting his bones in a box. Like, how serious is that situation, right? And some people might say, "Oh, Larry, that's terrible. You would do that." However, if you know about Zen Buddhism, I used to live near the temple that started Zen Buddhism in all of Japan. That first temple, I used to live near there, and I actually went there a number of times and talked with the head priest. Now, the Zen Buddhists, they would say I was on the right track by cracking jokes. The Zen Buddhists have a completely different outlook on things, their form of Buddhism, and they would say, yeah, joking at a funeral and lightening up the mood and making light of the fact that, hey, life is short, kind of thing, right? And we all go back to, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, that sort of thing, right? We all go back to that. So there's no reason to be, freaked out or too serious about it. So anyway, okay, sorry, I shared that story. How did I get into that? Oh yeah, New Year's and Buddhism and Shinto religion. One thing I should say that I wanted to say, and then I got, sidetracked there, as I often do, is at the Shinto shrine, when you go there, they have sake, this Japanese rice wine. People in America might call it sake, but it's actually sake. And if you go there, they have these little wooden boxes. It's like a square wooden box, and they put salt on one corner, and then they pour sake in there, and then you drink it, like you're holding it so it looks like a diamond shape in front of you, and then when you drink it, that salt and sake mix, and that's supposed to be something you do to have good luck in the new year. And then they also give you some food and some snacks for your kids and stuff like that. So yeah, that's one of the reasons I think people go to the Shinto shrine, is they're getting free alcohol and food. Just my opinion, though. Okay, holy moly, I've been taking a lot of time gabbing away there. Let's get to our daily crypto update. Let's look at our first graph. What do we got here? Well, there's not too much going on in the market. Not too much going on. If we look, let's see in that, what is it, peach-colored column there, 1231 to 11, so December 31st to January 1st, price percent plus or minus. If we look in that column, we can see that Tezos is up. The price is up 3%, well, 3.05. And Veritasium is up 3.62%. And then what else? We got two that are down. Theta is down 3.53%, and NEO is down 3.22%. So not really much going on there. Let's see. Pundi has maintained, it hasn't changed. It's actually gained some strength against Bitcoin, we can see, because you would get 351,562 less Pundi today with your one Bitcoin than you would have yesterday. We also have Stellar. Stellar's up 0.26%, gained some strength against Bitcoin. Everything else is down. Everything else is down. Some of them are down, but they've still maintained strength against Bitcoin, right? So we've got like XRP, it's down, but you'd get 96 less XRP than you would have yesterday with your Bitcoin. Let's see, Digibyte, Digibyte's down a tiny, tiny bit, but you'd get, so it has gained a little bit on Bitcoin, just a little bit, because, you would get 7,147 less Digibyte with your Bitcoin today than yesterday, but hey, come on. Digibyte, the darn thing is almost free. It's at about half of 1 cent. It's not even 1 cent, it's half of a cent. So it's really cheap. 7,000 of those doesn't amount to much, really, right? So not much going on here. Doesn't surprise me, right? It's New Year's. Probably interest in the crypto market is low right now. People have other priorities, spending time with their family and friends, celebrating. Maybe they're thinking about the new year. What the heck went on with 2019 in cryptos? What are they going to do in 2020? Should they stay in cryptos or not? I'll bet there's a lot of those conversations out there. And as I've mentioned before, I do think the powers that be, or whoever has their hands in the cookie jar controlling these cryptos, I'm sure that they're manipulating things to the point or for the goal of getting people out. They want the average person out of the crypto market. They do not want us taking advantage of this new technology and this new form of currency. So they're going to hold this market down and take it down even further if they can, just to get people out. So my advice would be, don't be discouraged. This is just the game that's being played. You just have to be patient. Okay, so not much is going on here. Let's jump over to the market cap. Okay, looking at the market cap, what can we see? Well, the first thing that stands out is if we look at the daily percent change in market cap, we can see Tezos is highlighted. Okay, the market cap increased 3.39%, which is really interesting because the price of Tezos only went up about 3%, right? So, okay, sure, the market cap went up 3.39%. I get it. There's a correlation there, right? That's how it should be. That's, the price goes up. If the price per Tezos goes up, then the price of the market cap should go up accordingly. Doesn't always work that way, interestingly enough, but it should. And the daily percent change in trading volume for Tezos, that light blue column, that's down a little bit. Not surprising, not surprising. And then let's look at Cardano. Cardano. Market cap is down. Market cap is down 1.29%, but the trading volume was up 47.56%. So market cap went down a tiny bit. 1.29% isn't a whole lot. And if we look at Cardano, the yellow column, the trading volume as a percent of market cap, it's only 3.36% of the market cap. So a very tiny amount of Cardano being traded when you think of the whole market cap, right? So I was wondering, with the market cap being down and the trading volume up, does that mean Cardano's price would be down this morning? And looking at Cardano, well, it's down 1.64% from yesterday, not a huge amount. And we also have to keep in mind what I just said, this yellow column, the trading volume as a percent of market cap is only 3.36% for Cardano, so it's not a huge amount. So we can say, aha, there are some coins where even though the trading volume is very low as a percent of the market cap, it does move the price. But other coins, it doesn't. You have coins like Litecoin. They have a huge trading volume. It's 75.94% today. It was 84% yesterday. Even that amount of Litecoin being traded, it doesn't move the price so much. Other coins, if it was that much, it would really move it. Other coins, you can have 10% trading volume, being 10% of the market cap, and it can really move the price of that coin. Litecoin is not one of those coins. And watching Cardano here for the last month, even when the trading volume increases, like we saw, from yesterday or the day before to yesterday, because, I took these numbers on the 31st, while the trading volume is up a pretty good amount for Cardano, the trading volume as a percent of market cap is still low enough to where it's not going to move the price that much. So that's something else we have to think of. So it's good to know the market cap, is it up or down? It's really good to know the trading volume, is it up or down? But then, knowing those two, we have to look at the trading volume as a percentage of the market cap. And that will tell us the final picture, what's really going on. And then we have to keep in mind, okay, now we know this coin has a low trading volume as a percent of market cap. Even if it has a huge increase from one day to the next, it won't move the price very much. And then we have like Litecoin, huge trading volume, a very high percent of its market cap, the trading volume is, right? Doesn't really move the price. Then we have other coins. we have other coins, things like Tezos. It can have a smaller, their percent of market cap is what, 1.19% today. It was 1.29 yesterday. But that trading volume is enough to move the price. Interesting, huh? So we're starting to see the characteristics of each coin and the market of each coin, right? Sort of the ecosystem of that coin, so to speak. We're starting to see what's going on with it. Now let's look at Veritasium. Let's see, I just want to jump back and see Veritasium's price. Okay, so Veritasium, the market cap is down. Market cap is down. What is it, 3.38%? For some reason, I've got these numbers in red. Some colors look a little blurry to me because I'm using computers too much. Okay, 3.88% Veritasium is down. The trading volume, the daily percent change in trading volume, is down 59.89%. Very low volume, lower than yesterday. But what happened? Veritasium's price is up. The price is up 3.62%. Wait a second. How can the price be up when the market cap is down and the trading volume is down? Well, that's Veritasium. That's Veritasium, right? That's the characteristic of Veritasium. Has this tiny, tiny trading volume as a percent of its market cap, right? It's 0.01% today. Or for yesterday it was, sorry. And that's enough to move the price up. So it goes against what you would think, right? It kind of goes against common sense in a way. But that's Veritasium. We've seen this time and time again with Veritasium. So these are the sorts of things, if you have some coins that you're watching, like I do, I've got NEO, Tezos, OMG, EOS, NeoGas, and Veritasium. Those are the ones I'm really focusing on. I mean, I'm looking at all of these coins and I'm interested in all of them, but I'm focusing on those 6 specifically. So if you do that, you start to understand the idiosyncrasies of each of these coins. It's very interesting. Okay, everybody, that's all I've got for my daily crypto update on January 1st, 2020. This is exciting, a new year. This year, what have I got going? This is the year I'm getting back to America. I'm getting back to America. I've been gone for over 20 years. I feel a little bit like Odysseus in the Iliad and the Odyssey. I don't know if anyone has ever read the Iliad and the Odyssey, but as far as I'm concerned, it's one of the top 2 books I've read in my life, the Iliad and the Odyssey. So I feel like Odysseus, it took him, he went to the Trojan Wars, and then it took him 20 years to get back home. The gods were upset with him, and they put all of these obstacles in his way, and he finally gets home. He doesn't give up. My situation is not like that. I don't think the gods are upset with me. And me being gone a little more than 20 years from America is simply because I had a dream to live in Asia, and I'm living the dream. And now, I'm entering a different phase of my life, and I want to take my wife and kids to America and show them all kinds of things. One of them being is art. Oh yeah, most of you don't know I'm an artist. That's what I'm really good at. I'm an artist. That's my God-given talent. I'm a painter. I can make sculptures. I can make jewelry. I've done blacksmithing. I can make ceramics. You name it, I can make it in art, right? And I've made pretty much everything. I suppose I could add some of my paintings. I have some photos of paintings that I did, oh my God, like around when I was just graduating college. And in those days I was working part-time to be a portrait. I was a portrait painter, and I worked as an illustrator, an editorial illustrator for some advertising agencies. So maybe I should show that sometime in one of my videos. So that's what I'm really, really good at. And I'm looking forward to getting back to America to show my kids some of the stuff I know how to do. Because, like with blacksmithing, for example, because I know blacksmithing, I also know how to make knives. I know how to, take steel and fold it numerous times, making it into, strengthening it to make a knife. So stuff like that. Okay, you guys. So 2020 for me is the year I will get back to America. Very looking forward to that so much. Hope you guys have a wonderful New Year's Day. Take care, and guess what? I'll see you tomorrow.